George Janko went from being the side character that got bullied for his beliefs on Impaulsive to the main character that nowadays everyone respects. Impaulsive was created by Logan and Mike on November 20th, 2018. The two had amazing chemistry, and that was very noticeable when they were recording their podcasts. They wanted a third person on the show, but it would be difficult for the third person to have the same level chemistry Logan and Mike had. There were two people before George Janko officially joined Impaulsive. Spencer was the first one to join the group, and he was in the first 150 episodes of Impaulsive.
Anyways, like I said, we are Impaulsive, guys. I am here with my roommates. We got Spencer Taylor.
Hey, I like plants.
And we got Hey Big Mike.
6'3".
Sadly, he did have to leave the group because he was moving to Hawaii.
I'm moving to Kauai.
That's crazy, Spence.
Are you joining like a
Yeah, what are you joining the Vibe Tribe?
Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
Where do you go, Spence?
Today.
I was shooting at noon. He's got a flight.
What the fuck is going on right now, dude?
Is that why there's suitcases in the house?
Yeah.
Spencer! Spencer, I'm gonna fucking cry. Stop.
Spencer was then replaced by a childhood friend of Logan named Mac. Mac left Impaulsive after getting into an argument with Mike because of having different interests.
Yes.
Your interests, I don't think it's reach to say, often skew from what most people. You're a very interesting young human, right?
I'm not interested in the cultural sphere of Hollywood.
Which is which is exactly what this show is about. That is this show.
I don't think it is.
No, it is. I'm not saying I think it is. This show, Impaulsive, is about the cultural setting that is Hollywood and the culturally relevant topics of entertainment and news. That's what the show's about. Since episode 1, it's always been about that. There's no argument there. It's a fact.
But
of
what
the
about
matter.
when there's, smart people and interesting
We
guests
talk to
that
them about their
are
favorite
doing businesses?
cereals, Mac?
No. But that it is what makes this podcast special is the versatility.
The next host was George Janko, who joined Impaulsive on September 2020 on episode 219.
Introducing the third co-host of Impaulsive, my best friend, George Janko.
Let's go.
George. Guys, I have like big shoes to fill now, huh?
Yeah, you do. That seat has been filled by many people. That mic has been in many people's mouths.
George was more of an emotional man, not particularly sad, but he had empathy and could understand people on a different level, whilst Logan and Mike were the opposite of that. George is a Christian man, and that added extra variety to the Impaulsive podcast. Whether Logan and Mike liked it was another question. Logan and Mike are on one side of the camera, and George and the guest are on the other side, which left George not being able to speak a lot when Logan and Mike were talking. George would unconsciously develop the habit of being needy, which makes sense if you never get to speak on a podcast where you are also a host.
That's good,
so
man.
I need to know more about you. Like, how did you figure out that like this entertainment world was your calling?
That's what I was gonna say.
I said it. So,
but I was gonna say.
No, but I said it.
No, it's good. It's good. I just want to. I'm trying to understand the timeline of Theo Von. So
MTV.
We did. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that middle part.
Right.
When you first started in the come up. When, like my friend just said, I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I mean, what? So like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I don't know. I got out of Louisiana.
However, George would get a reality check when Shaq appeared on Impaulsive and called George out for not even talking on the podcast.
But it is like father, like
Hold on.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna ask me a question? Oh, damn.
He waits. He likes to wait until he's got the
Bro,
perfect
you
question.
tapped me in play mode and I broke my hand. What happens if I ask the wrong question and you punch me? I'm actually I'm just
You
taking.
wear short shorts.
I'm telling you, they're
Jeez.
making a resurgence.
You know what? Hold on. I might as well just
I don't
pull
even
my
think.
shit up. Go ahead.
So I'm so sorry.
Now you gotta say something.
Listen, man, I read the Bible a lot when they talk about David and Goliath. I've never seen a giant, and so like I'm literally just I'm a little taken.
You've been sitting over here for 30 minutes and that's all you can freaking say? Fucking kidding me.
Now he's not gonna say
That's the
shit.
question. Jeez.
I'm just sitting.
Are you drunk?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're gonna get
Jeez.
Edgy George later tonight.
I have one question. Is there
Okay,
any
thank
chance I can, for 2 seconds, put these up so I can hear what's going on?
Take them all. You don't have to ask
Why
the
you asking
producer.
Dylan?
Just take things off.
Okay.
You've been on this show.
I feel like I just fucked up everybody's vibe.
you
I am
did.
so
They
sorry.
love it.
I'm like right next to them, but I can't hear anything in this. So I've been like
He's your
trying. And
partner
then
on
the
your
worst.
podcast?
Let's give George a round of applause. Real
the
quick.
new
Get him
guy.
back. Get him
Hold
back
on.
in the game.
He's your partner?
He's the newest.
You might want to give him his 2-week notice. That's the question, dude.
Honestly,
Jeez.
no, it's not how it works in this show. You don't even get a 2-week notice. You're fired, brother. You just rip a backboard down.
What the fuck are you doing here? Ask a question, jeez.
You do have to
I
ask
actually
one.
do. I have
Thank
one.
you.
I have one.
Is it going to be basketball?
George felt very uncomfortable in that situation, and that really impacted the confidence of George, which he would also admit later on that he felt like he wasn't enough for the podcast. 5 episodes later, Bobby Lee appeared on Impaulsive, and this is where everything went south. Bobby Lee starts by closing off George and making small little jokes about him, which George did not really take well. George would speak for a few minutes about what he went through in life.
I mean this in a cocky way, but like, dude, this put me on a very strong map, and it made a lot of my avenues blow up. So I'm
It's
very
like that's-
blessed, but I didn't know I was gonna be here. So
It's
for
like
me-
that's. You know. It was just a long monologue.
He was just waiting. He was
And let me just say something. I loved what you were saying. It was just very long. Yeah.
But Bobby Lee clearly did not take it seriously and started completely making fun of George.
Yeah, we just need writers to edit that down. Like if we had a staff of writers, they'd be like, "Yeah, we'll cut that." But
I'm sorry.
essentially, it was a really good monologue.
Usually when I do my comedy, I don't have writers in the room. I actually write my own stuff.
Okay, I can tell.
Bobby Lee managed to pull out the last straw of George, which made George walk off the podcast.
And if you're into that, what's so funny, man? Bro, your look, dude. I don't even want to get into your look, dude. Okay.
Wait, why'd you break up with
You're like if Oscar Isaac ate everything. That's what he looks like.
George was a bit too quiet, and Logan pointed it out, which was not the right decision at the moment.
He is clocked out.
Yeah,
he's-
I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse.
No,
No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him. Go get him. I said this, he walked, and that's a first, and now we're going to have to deal with the fallout of this episode for the
Logan,
next 2
Mike, let me ask you
fucking
guys
months. I swear to God, Bobby Lee, you fucking pissed off my co-host. He's probably crying in the driveway.
After a few episodes of the Bobby Lee podcast, Impaulsive brought out a new episode where George and Logan were arguing for an hour long about true friendship and religion.
Give an example of
One that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus. That one hurt me.
No, I didn't. I said you need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you,
No, you
which
didn't.
is true.
No, you didn't.
I said,
I don't want to stand down. No, you didn't.
You think I said you need a therapist because you
I
believe in
checked you and I said,
Jesus?
what did you just say to me?
After the little beef with Logan and George decided to start his own path. He made his own podcast while still being on Impaulsive, but Logan couldn't resist making fun of George on Impaulsive.
And
I'm just doing this for a couple weeks so then I could leave and clickbait that why I left Impulsive.
That's good. It's a good strategy.
That'll crush.
It's been done. It's been done many times, and it works.
By who? Oh,
well, you can make a real living for yourself. You know, we've seen the model. We've seen the model work. You do something. You stick with it. You leave. Make it a thumbnail.
it's a crazy game. It's a crazy game.
Well,
Leave your
explain it.
emotions out of it.
It was only a few episodes later that George left Impaulsive. He tried speaking about it, but he legally couldn't. George would go on and have lots of podcasts with some well-known content creators, which gained him a couple of thousands views. The views were going up as he kept uploading more and more. George managed to have a podcast with Patrick Bet David. After that video, he got more support and subscribers than ever, gaining 1.6 million views, meaning this was the highest viewed video on his channel. This has opened lots of doors for George. Because of having spoken with Patrick Bet David, he had the chance to talk with the most influential person on the planet at the moment, Andrew Tate. George made 2 parts with Andrew Tate on his podcast, having 10 million views on the first part and 4 million views on the second part. George has made his comeback story a true success. At this rate, he might even overtake Impaulsive in 1 year. Click here to see the weirdest moments ever caught on TV.